Hey YouTube. So behind me is our 1980 251 Chris Craft. I'll zoom out here a little bit so you can see it. There she is. We got her a couple of weeks ago and was expecting to have to do some work on her. Got it for a really great price. And so we'll be posting videos because she does need a lot of work. In certain respects more than we thought, in other respects not as much. But I was going to give you a little quick tour of the boat. Again, this is a 1980 251 Chris Craft Catalina. So, looking at one of the first problems we have is the trailer. I've been told the trailer is not long enough for the boat. So we're probably going to take, let's see, right there, the wheels, and they will actually slide further back on the trailer. We're going to try that first and maybe try extending the trailer. Let's see if we can solve that problem, because they say that the boat is sitting, it's too small. It's too small for the trailer, so we'll have to do that. Along with some other things that we're going to do. The hull needs polishing. The bottom's going to have to be, we're going to have to steam, high pressure wash the hull, and then repaint the bottom. The striping along the top, the blue striping, needs to be repainted, and then of course we'll wax and polish out the hull. Things like the Chris Craft logo here. That's a decal that needs to be replaced. But a lot of little things, you know, you can see the paint here is worn out. The guardrail here has been, it's okay. We may be able to buff it out and clean it. The gel coat in some places has scratches, things that need to be fixed. I've even got up here where the trailer was, not the trailer, but right here. I don't know if this is from the trailer or a different trailer. You can see these spots here. The water line tape is coming off. That's going to have to be replaced. You know, again, up here, the wood on the side and the carpet has to be replaced. Overall, the rest of the boat, really, the funny thing about it is, for the year that it is really in good shape for the age. But there's a little more of a story on this boat. And for those of you that are wondering, I had a couple of guys, again with the sun this way, I don't want it to blind you, but there's the back of the boat. So the name of the boat, I think at this point, we've decided on Yard Art, because when I first got it, my wife looked at me and said, that's not going to end up in the yard as just yard art, is it? We'll go up inside in a minute. Kind of a real quick backstory. When we bought the boat, the motor, we didn't know what was going on with it. All the guy told me was that he had put a wrench on it and that it turned. It wasn't seized up. So, but I bought it under the premise that regardless, I was going to either have to rebuild it or replace it. Well, turns out we actually had it running a couple of weeks ago, and the motor sounded amazing, but I had not hooked up water to it yet. Well, we hooked up water to it, and lo and behold, apparently somebody left it sitting up over the winter with water in the engine, and the engine's gone. Block's cracked. It's cracked in the for sure in the lifter valley. So anyway, let's we'll take you inside and show you effectively what we've done at this point. You're probably going to laugh to some point. So here on the ground, that's my exhaust manifold and riser on one side, my exhaust manifold and riser on the other, the two heads, the intake manifold. That's what we've taken out of her so far. Because, and I'm going to put the phone down a second, hang on. So, so there's the motor. And yeah, you can see the sludge, the garbage. I come in here, right there, the lifter valley block is cracked. That's just one spot that I know of. We haven't dug around to some of the others yet. So we're slowly, today, we're going to get all this oil out of it. And so the motor's got to come out. All this wood around here, including in the other direction, has got to come out. I can probably go this way, which I have to do anyway. Hang on. So there's the gas tank in the back. There's wood in here. The good thing is the struts are not rotted. There's some other rotten stuff like that, but that's all minimal woodwork that needs to be done. Everything else, ironically, when the engine fired up, was working fine, was working well. This, my door here, this all needs to be replaced. It's all, let's see, did that come out? This is all weather damaged. If anybody's got any ideas, ordered outside of wood, I'd love to replace this with plastic or something like that, keep the wood from rotting. So as we go down into the cabin, originally these boats had carpet. Well, that's all been taken out, and somebody, the previous owner or somebody, tried replacing, not replacing, but painted over the fiberglass. I don't know if we're going to leave that like that, or we're going to try putting a material over the top of this, run some wood strips to support a ceiling, but I am going to outline the windows in mahogany, replace all that. Sadly, this was wood that they painted over. They just painted over everything you see white. They painted. This was mahogany. They painted it. All this was, and they painted it. So we've either got to strip it or replace it. This is a water tank that some people have said was my freshwater tank. Others have said it was for the head. Unfortunately, there's nothing left in there. There was a porta potty in there. The original head is gone. The floor is rotted. They took out the entire, everything that was in the bathroom. There was a sink, there was a shelf, it's all gone. So that is all going to need to be replaced. The refrigerator that was here is gone. I don't know if you can see that or not. The refrigerator that was here is gone. The sink's still intact, but of course the faucet is also broken. So just a lot of little stuff that is going to need to be replaced. We're not going to use the boat in salt water. It'll be freshwater lakes. We're here in Texas. But that's so there's your V-berth. Everything else under the hull is good. There's no leaks. We actually took it to the lake a couple of weeks ago and floated her just to make sure that there wasn't anything. Going to stick a motor in this boat and then find out we got some major hull structural problem, and fortunately that's not the case. And I've had a couple of other people that are like, why are you going to put all this money into this boat? Well, we only gave about $1,500 for the boat, and They sell right now for somewhere between $6,000 and $8,000. Well, between putting a motor in the boat and a lot of this little cosmetic stuff, not only it's not going to cost me that much money to not only put a motor in the boat, but to do everything else. Plus, I can say I did it.